Hello and welcome to today's video. Back to your regular programming. We're covering the roster moves that have taken place in the last week or so. A little bit less than that. The official moves based on Wikipedia, the GCD, not what is rumored or what is sourced out. I usually use Wikipedia as the way to determine them. Usually, GCD means something's been signed, I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and we can talk about it. So, first, Isserus, Kine was allowed to leave. You'd be like, Kine barely played with them. Yes, he did barely play with them. Long enough to do what they wanted him to do, and now he's out. His contract was through 2026, and it's already over. He had two bonus Hall of Fame points this past year due to this score line. Doing very well in LTA North in spring. 2.9 KDA, 70 KP, 8.8 CS per minute. 1.56 ROI, which is damage divided by gold. 3.2 share differential, 2.68 vision efficiency. Laning wise, behind 67 gold, up 87 XP, had one solo kill every 10 games, and a different champion played every 3 games, a new one. So, Kine's done well in the past. You saw him with Rainbow 7 a couple years ago, surprised people. I don't know, type of player that really couldn't make it in the LCK, imports out, does well in minor regions on lower tier teams. I don't know, I'm not surprised he's looking for a spot. LTA South is probably where he still ends up, I imagine. Vivo Keat Stars signed Kaiwing. Kaiwing had 4 bonus points this year with CFO. CFO, we're the best team in the LCP. Best team between LCP, LTA, and LEC. Kaiwing, a very old player. I forget who they had signed. Loopy, maybe? And something happened, and then they didn't go with him. Kaiwing's better than Loopy, so that's fine. A traditional support. 4.9 KDA, 74 KP. 3 out of every 4 kills for CFO. 0.72 ROI, which is pretty set standard for a support. More traditional, like I said. He's not going to play a flashy, carry-oriented damage support. He's not going to wow you in that stat line. It's going to be in terms of playing how support normally used to play. 1.9 vision efficiency, laning-wise, pretty normal. Solo kills don't matter for supports. 0.12 champions played per game, so a different champion every 9 games or so. Team Liquid allowed Yuji to leave. A lot of people questioning that decision. I think there's a case to be made. He didn't get a long enough leash, and he also is 23 years old. So an older rookie, TL have an older team, especially in the bot lane with Core on it, and Morgan in top lane I don't think is very young now that they've signed him. He might be on the opposite side of 25, which, players obviously look at Faker, he's playing till 30 at a very high level, but it is what it is. Jose Deodo, I think, is a very fucking good player. So he's an upgrade over Yuji either way. Whether we, don't like, hey, they let Yuji leave. They upgraded. It's not like they went with somebody that was a downgrade. Jose is an upgrade. So Yuji had a 4.8 KDA, 65 KP, 6.8 CS per minute in a 35-game season that saw him play 10 games in Challengers in winter. And they went 10-0 in that split. So these stats were definitely boosted a bit by that. But just a little more damage than gold. More of a facilitator and less of a carry-oriented jungler. Negative 5.9 share differential. Did well in the early game, up 120 gold, 105 XP. 1 solo kill every 20 games. 3 different champions played every 10 games over the entirety of the season. Jose Deodo had 6 Hall of Fame bonus points with Isserus and Isserus Astral this season. Jose, we think back to his time with FlyQuest, doing a great job and getting ousted, and Fly obviously getting better afterwards. So, at the time it kind of soured me, and similar to how people may feel about Yuji right now, but in the end it worked out for Fly. They had a lot of success with Inspired. Jose's really good. 3.9 KDA, 69 KP, 6.9 CS per minute, 1.07 ROI, negative 4.9 share differential. Despite the facilitator stat line, less damage. Historically, Jose can carry from really any angle. He's a playmaker. He gets shit done. I think TL is a team that, once again, will be a threat to go to international events this year, but that's something that we'll talk about more as we do our previews over the next month and a half. 164 gold, 278 XP ahead. 0.14 solo kills per game, so 1 solo kill every 8 games or so. 0.39 champions played, so over the entirety of the season, 2 out of every 5 games, he did play a brand new champion he hadn't played before. Wide champion pool, like I said, can really play at any angle or role for the team. Morgan had 1 Hall of Fame point with Bro this season. It's hard to really... So, when I really started paying attention to League, Morgan's been pretty much on Bro the entire time. So, I don't think Bro are very good. Haven't been very good for a long time due to the coaching. So, it's hard to really think about Morgan. I'm going to give him a clean slate this year, see how he does. I think as an import in LTA North or LCS now, he should be pretty strong. It wouldn't shock me if he had a Summit-like performance. I don't think he's not like Summit, so there is that. But in terms of impacting the game, I think he could impact it just as much as Summit. 2.9 KDA, 57 KP, 8.1 CS per minute. Pretty involved, 3 out of every 5 kills, but Bro were not, lighting up the scoreboard. 1.48 ROI, 1.7 share differential, just under 3 vision efficiency. Laning-wise in the LCK, behind 40 gold, 5 XP. I expect him to be ahead in laning phase in LCS. 0.14 solo kills per game, so over 1 out of every 1 in 8 games. Same with champions played. His champion pool isn't extremely vast, but then again, LCK, LPL, they play a shit ton of games. Quid had 15.5 bonus Hall of Fame points, a lot of that coming from Worlds, where he did excellent for 100 Thieves. Quid is a super strong player. I expect him to be a driving force for Team Liquid. He is an upgrade over APA, and that's kind of the thing here. Like, if they can get it to work, I expect this team to be very strong and formidable. Keep bumping into this board. 4.5 KDA, 73 KP, 8.9 CS per minute with 100 Thieves. Quid was probably, in the most valuable player sense, the most valuable player I think you can make a case maybe the most valuable player in the West outright, which would be a bold claim. That's not to imply he's the best, but that he is the most valuable to what his team did. 1.76 ROI, 3.7 share differential, 3 vision score per ward placed, up 88 gold, 141 XP, 3 solo kills every 10 games, and 1 in every 5 games a new champion played. Sentinels signed Golden Glue as a coach. Golden Glue is a 100 Thieves coach. As a head coach and not an assistant at a tier 1 level, he's 16-6 in the regular season in best of ones for a 73% win rate, 7-9 in best of threes for a 44% win rate, and 4-1 in best of fives for an 80% win rate. Playoffs, 2-0 in best of threes, 6-7 in best of fives. Internationally, 1-2 in best of threes, and 1-3 in 1-2 in best of ones, 1-3 in best of threes. Dignitas, Swiffer, 44-46 as a head coach. A lot of that coming with SK Gaming for a 49% win rate in best of ones, 1-3 in best of threes. Playoffs, 2-6 in best of fives, and 2-6 in best of threes, 0-3 in best of fives. I don't know how I'm feeling about that, but Dignitas are going to do what Dignitas do. Zinni for Shopify Rebellion. Zinni is probably the best prospect I've seen statistically since Quid in mid lane in LCK. Ironically, he ends up in the LCS as well. In terms of players, though, I remember Quid with Gen G Academy and Challengers, and identifying at a young age that statistically, he was outperforming everybody. Zinni, 2 years ago with KT, really did a lot of work. And like Quid, if I recall, Quid actually played not as well before he went to 100 Thieves. Like, there was a slight drop off statistically. The team wasn't as good. He went in and went to Tier 1 and did quite well. Zinni this past year with KT Challengers was not as strong as he was the year before. However, there are still some stats on this stat line that are incredibly indicative of a player that is really fucking good. So Shopify has definitely improved their mid lane position. 4.1 KDA, 64 KP, 84 CS per minute. Now, CS is kind of low, but that's fine. We saw this year mid laners not having as much farm. 1.98 ROI and a 5.2 share differential. He carried for KT Challengers, just outright. The damage indicates a very aggressive player, very mechanically gifted. And I expect him to really dominate at the LCS level. Obviously, against Quid, he's going to have his hands full, and Saint's a very good player as well. But, I mean, immediately he is upper half in the LCS, and I think that's like the floor. Zinni is very, very talented. The fact KT let him go, I think it was because BDD did so well this year. I think they held on to him. If BDD struggled, they were going to let him go and promote Zinni, but their hand was kind of forced. 302 vision efficiency, laning-wise, a little bit to be desired, only up 100 gold, behind 30 XP. A solo kill every 3 games, a different champion played every 5 games. HLE, signed Kanavi and Guma. Kanavi had 11 Hall of Fame points, Guma 7.5. These are bonus Hall of Fame points. Obviously, they get points for stats throughout the year and results in terms of, obviously, Guma winning Worlds is helpful. But statistically, I mean, HLE, once again, have a really strong fucking team. Kanavi, 3.8 KDA, 77 KP, 69 CS per minute with Top Esports this past season. He drove the bus. 3 out of every 4 kills. Kanavi is, if not the best, he's the second best. If not the second best, he's the third best jungler in the world. I said this for years, and Kanavi hasn't dropped off his play enough to warrant him not being in that argument. 1.35 ROI, negative 2.5 share differential. Deals a lot of damage for a jungler. He can play any type of champion you need him to play. 5.1 vision efficiency, up 250 gold on average. Over 1 different champion every 8 games. Guma, at this point, he's in that conversation. The results obviously are going to make you want to say he's one of the greatest AD carries of all time. He, as a weak side, AD carry is the best of all time. But as a, I would probably still take Uzi. But regardless, or even modern day, I'm taking Ruler or Viper in terms of if I had to choose somebody to play in a best of 5 right now. But Guma outright is a top 5 AD carry in the world. Going in place of Viper is whatever. We'll see how he does away from Faker. 5 KDA, 71 KP, 97 CS per minute. Dealt a lot of damage at 1.73 with that high farm total. Did drive the bus for quite a bit of the season. Negative 3.9 share differential, 261 ROI. 261 ROI would have been insane. Vision efficiency. 133 gold, 66 XP ahead. 0.1 solo kills per game, so 1 solo kill every 10 games. He played a shit ton of games. Another thing, see how he does away from Carrier. 0.12 champions played. Home is the coach. Home, 184, 94, and 7 in best of 3s as a head coach. That's a 65% win rate, 1 and 2 in best of 5s. 36 and 19 in best of 5s in playoffs. That is for a 65% win rate. Internationally, he's 30 and 7 in best of 1s. 81% win rate, 3 and 5 in best of 3s. 9 and 7 in best of 5s. MKVE, SFM is no longer the head coach. Big Koro is. Big Koro has not been a head coach at a tier 1 level. So he has no stats to go off of. But SFM, as co-owner and head coach, he went 33 and 11 in best of 3s, which is not 25% win rate. They're supposed to be 75. 3 and 2 in best of 3s in the playoffs. 4 and 6 in best of 5s. Internationally, 0 and 2. Worlds last year, 2024. So that is a thing. Now on to the other half of this video. Okay, so for the rest, we have GAM. Drakthar has been promoted. Drakthar played in the VCS a few years back, but this past year he was in what is the VCS now, which is considered a Tier 2 region. Drakthar probably deserved to be at a Tier 1 level. He's the one that's replacing Levi. That's big shoes to fill. GAM have played a very long time at a high level. 3.6 KDA, 70 KP, 7 CS per minute, pretty high resource. Dominated that level of play, 1.36 ROI, negative 1.3 share differential. Left a bit to be desired in vision, only 4 vision score per ward placed. You'd like that to be you'd like objective setup to be much better. In terms of the early game, he gapped VCS junglers on average, up over 400 gold and 400 XP at 15 minutes. In 0.23 solo kills per game. So as a jungler, almost had 1 solo kill every 4 games. That is aggressive. And a different champion played every 3 games. Support, Taki. Taki, you could argue, is the best support in Vietnam, best support in the PCS, especially, LCP now. Excuse me. Very strong, aggressive, gets after it. Paired with Artemis, we'll see who ends up being the AD carry in the end. But Taki had 3 bonus Hall of Fame points this year. 3.8 KDA, 78 KP. Drove the bus for Team Secret Whales alongside Eddie. 0.84 ROI, 1.84 vision efficiency. Was dealing a lot of damage. Now we saw stronger supports in that way. So Taki does offer, he's aggressive, but he's also very aggressive with facilitators and playmakers, and not necessarily those traditional damage supports. Laning wise, pretty irrelevant. Solo kills per game, pretty irrelevant for a support. 0.17 champions played, so almost a different champion every 5 games. Null is the head coach. He's 34-24 at a Tier 1 level as a head coach in best of 3s for 59% win rate. Playoffs, 1-3 in best of 3s, 4-6 in best of 5s. In terms of international events, 1-2 in best of 3s and 0-1. Oh, actually, sorry, 1-2 in best of 1s this past season with Team Secret Whales, and 0-1 in best of 3s. Heretics officially allowed Carlson and Camilo to walk. These has been long reported. They were allowed to look for opportunities. So Carlson was ahead of Trayson. I've been saying all year Trayson probably deserved to be in the LEC. It's a tough sell. It was awkward putting Carlson above him to begin the year. Carlson, I thought, did pretty well given the situation. 2.3 KDA, 49 KP, 8-1 CS sprint. One of the least involved top laners in the world this season in terms of kill participation, which was kind of weird. 1.29 ROI, negative 1 share differential. At least he wasn't getting a ton of resources. I mean, negative 1 share differential paired with a 1.29 ROI is a surprise. 1.29 might be the lowest ROI of any top laner that was a top laner for all of their team's games this season at a Tier 1 level. So the negative 1 share differential is not the lowest. So it's an interesting combination. I mean, the kid's been... I remember when he's on Astralis in Tier 2. I thought the kid was good then. This year, Trayson's better. It's a tough situation. It's a tough situation. 2.67 vision efficiency. Laning-wise, behind by 260 gold, 130 XP. I mean, he had his hands full. 1 solo kill every 4 games. Did find outplays. 3 different champions every 10 games. Camilo, I thought, was very good. We saw him with KC this past weekend. In the exhibition, he played very well in Kiau's spot. It's just... I don't know. I mean, a lot of people gave him shit because didn't he come from Division 2 LFL? And people didn't like that. But I thought he did very good at that level. He did very well at the LEC level. He probably... he you kind of fuck up his development away, but given the circumstances, I thought he did well also on Heretics, to be honest. 2 KDA, 62 KP, 85 CS per minute, not as involved again. 3 out of every 5 kills. The solo laners were not really what made this team do anything. 163 ROI, though, and a 4.8 share differential indicated that when he was present, he did pack a punch. And I thought this past, especially the game against G2, I thought he was their best player without a doubt. And playing like shit mattered, which you can look at it one way or another, but the kid's playing for his career. I understand he's going to play with KC Blue, but he's playing for his career nonetheless. He's a young player, but he needs to put good tape out there and keep putting good tape out there. I think he's a player we're going to be talking about for a while here. 2.61 vision efficiency. Laning-wise, struggled behind 245 gold, 313 XP. I mean, combined, these guys are behind 507 gold and 443 XP. It's probably a good thing that they... I mean, it's tough. It's tough. 1 solo kill every 5 games. 3 champions play 10 games. JDG. This team, a lot of people are talking about. They just signed Junja, Hongq, Gala, Vampire, and Tabe. Right? So... bonus Hall of Fame points, 5.25, 9.55. Vampire doesn't have any, and then Tabe. This team, you are really, you got a wide, selection here. You've got a mid-jungle duo that you could argue were the best in non-LCK LPL region. I think you'd have to put like Inspired and Quad there in that conversation, and Skumon and Caps, and maybe we keep looking a little deeper. Maybe there's someone else I'm missing. But relatively speaking, those were the 3. You take them to JDG, and I was very critical of Hongq, trying to say this is not the play. I mean, with Tabe and Gala, maybe there's something there, but Zhaozhu is a big question mark. Vampire, I think, is good, but who knows how he's going to do with Gala. I mean, the thought is, if we pair 2 good players together, no matter what, they're going to be good. And we know the history, that's not always the case. You're taking 2 players that are very good on CFO, a team that had a great 80 carry in Doggo. Hongq did fucking great as well. Junja, solid. I thought he did better, actually, a couple of years ago compared to this year, or even last year compared to this year, but neither here nor there. It's just a lot's riding on Tabe to make all these pieces work, and I don't think Tabe's career indicates to me that he can make, not to say that he hasn't obviously led BLG to success, RNG years ago to success, anyone's legend to success. Obviously, he's done that. But to take a bunch of pieces and throw them together like this, I think this is different than what we've seen in years past. So, Junja, 4.6 KDA, 71 KP, 6.8 CS per minute with CFO. Very strong player. 1.15 ROI, negative 3.6 share differential. 4.23 vision efficiency. You'd like setup to be better, especially at this level. This is an upgrade. This is not the LCP anymore. This is going to be the LPL. He's done it before with EDG. We'll see if he can do it again. 78 gold, 139 XP. That's going to have to get better. He's going to have better pathing than what he showed this season. 1 solo kill every 10 games. Pretty good for a jungler. Over 1 champion played every 8 games. Hongq is another thing about Hongq. He's extremely young. This is a big move for a very young player. And he's going to have to be shielded because I imagine LPL fans aren't going to be like overly thrilled if he struggles relative to other possible mid laners. 3.7 KDA, 67 KP, 8.8 CS per minute. 1.72 ROI, 5.3 share differential. He and Doggo carried hard for CFO in the damage department. That's not to say other players didn't do their job. They did. It's just that those 2 were the damage dealers. 2.48 vision efficiency. Laning wise, 136 gold, 15 XP ahead. 2 solo kills every 5 games, and a different champion every 5 games. Gala. Maybe the best 80 carry without a championship in the world. probably, in terms of still kicking it on a team. 4.8 KDA, 71 KP, 92 CS per minute. Farm was a little lower than you'd like. 1.73 ROI, 3.1 share differential, 3.23 vision. This guy's one of the best AD carries in the world. I think him and Guma are very similar in terms of like how good they are. Obviously, Guma has worlds, Gala does not. Guma has worlds multiple times, Gala has none. But I think Gala and Guma are pretty similar in terms of level of player. 66 gold ahead, 0.13 champions played. Vampire took a lot of criticism last year for being a rookie that kind of came out of no man's land. This year, really stepped up, did quite well, especially with Team Wii. Deserves a lot of praise. And it goes to show that sometimes you need to give young people a leash and let them play and make mistakes and not be some cringe-ass motherfucker on Twitter talking a bunch of shit. But usually people can't help themselves. 2.6 KDA, 77 KP, 3 out of every 4 kills. Very involved in what his teams did. 0.85 ROI, 1.94 share differential, very aggressive player, good with vision. 31 gold ahead, 0.12 champions played. Tabe. So these stats are if he was listed as the head coach. So these stats could get kind of muddy. 9 and 12 as a coach in best of ones. He did have a split in CB Lol, and that's how that happened. 77 and 46 in best of threes for a 63% win rate, 3-0 in best of fives. Playoffs, 19 and 10 in best of fives, 66% win rate. Internationally in best of ones, 22 and 6. Best of threes, 4 and 1. Best of fives, 10 and 7. Top esports, Nayu and Jackie return. Given that so many teams loan out players, I wouldn't be shocked if Nayu and Jackie have always been on top esports. I don't know why LGD allowed Nayu to leave. It's almost like LGD kind of like brought him in as a mercenary and then let him go, which is cringe as fuck. Nayu then went to NIP as almost another mercenary and let go back to Top Esports. It really does make me think Top Esports has had him under contract the whole time, which I said is cringe as fuck. 4.3 KDA, 76 KP, 6.8 CS per minute. He had 1 Hall of Fame point this year, as did Jackie. Bonus. Nayu might be the best young... Like, Kanavi's leaving, and Nayu is replacing him, and I don't think there's going to be a very big drop-off. And Nayu's going to keep getting better and better with more games. He is very fucking good. Negative 3.6 share differential. 4.92 vision efficiency. 107 gold. 3 different champions every 10 games. Jackie with RNG did very well in one split. I think that was the split with Niket before Niket left. Or was it the one with FPX? I don't remember. But he did good for one split. I think it was with RNG. 2.9 KDA, 73 KP, 93 CS per minute. RNG retire fire. Jackie, as a rookie, did pretty decent given the circumstances. 1.74 ROI, 6.7 share differential. He dealt a shit ton of damage. Given the gold he was receiving. That's pretty undeniable with that number. 3.1 vision efficiency, behind 122 gold, 1 champion every 4 games. And by that I mean 1 new champion every 4 games over the entirety. Poppy as a coach and listed as the head coach. 41 and 21 in best of threes. Regular season, so that's 70% win rate. 11 and 9 in best of fives in playoffs. Internationally, 22 and 5, 81% win rate. 1 and 1 in best of fives, best of threes, 2 and 2 in best of fives. Was LNG's coach a couple of years back when they went to Worlds in 2023. BLG. Shun. 2 bonus Hall of Fame points returning to BLG. Said it for years, I'll say it again. Didn't matter which fucking jungler played with BLG, you have Bin, Knight, Elk, and On. You have 3 players that are they can be the best player in their role at any given time, and it wouldn't shock me at all. So it didn't matter who the jungler was, relatively speaking. Shun returning does not change this team's level. If it was Shadow, Bechuan, Shun, Wei, it does not matter to me. Do I think Shun is better than the other 3? Yeah. But in terms of results, I don't think it makes that much of a difference in terms of how the team works. And with Viper on it, I mean, Viper has 18 Hall of Fame points as bonus this year because of how well he did at first stand and world statistically. Viper is the best AD carry in the world, just in terms of a player. 4.1 KDA, 71 KP, 6.7 CS per minute for Shun. Not a big shock. Shun's pretty fucking good. 1.17 ROI, negative 3.6 share differential. Very good vision efficiency, over 5. Behind a bit in gold, negative 27.14 champions played per game. Viper with HLE, 5.6 KDA, 69 KP, 9.5 CS per minute. 1.74 ROI and a 5 share differential. Dealt a shit ton of damage. 2.78 vision efficiency, up 69 gold, 73 XP. I will say, alongside On, I don't think he's had this. Well, no, he had life. I was going to say he hasn't had this bad of a support in a while. No, he had life. And life, On is better than life. 1 solo kill every 8 games, which is pretty good for an 80 carry. And 1 new champion played every 8 games. BLG probably, I mean, they upgraded 80 carry. Jungle stayed the same. It's just a matter of making it work. Those 5 players could win worlds. Would I be surprised? No. You might be, but I would not. So, long video. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. And hope to see you again tomorrow.